All right. I gave you a full day. The Elimination Chamber happened. It's time to ask ourselves what just happened. And this was a fairly predictable show. This kind of happens actually a lot with the Dirty B when they put on an event and we can kind of figure out, nothing's really going to change here. But let's dive into the Elimination Chamber 2024 taking place in Perth, Australia. And our first match, surprisingly, was on the pre-show. Oh my God, the WWE actually had a match on the pre-show. I really wish they did more matches on the pre-show. You can get a lot more people on the card instead of having a 1 hour, 2 hour pre-show that's just previews of the matches. But on the pre-show, the kickoff shows they call it, we had the Kabuki Warriors defending the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Candice LaRae and Indi Hartwell. This was just a way to get Indi Hartwell on the card. There was apparently no way to get Bronson Reed on the card, but that's whatever. This was a good match. Indi looked good here. Candice looked good here. Both of these women are very much underrated when it comes to their in-ring ability and when it comes to their wrestling skills. But this was a fine match. Didn't hate it. It did its job. Got Indi Candice on the card, but in the end, the Kabuki Warriors retained with their tag team finisher, which is Kairi hitting the insane elbow while Asuka's hitting a neck breaker. It's fine, but we move over to the main card and we open up with the Women's Elimination Chamber match to decide the number one contender for the Women's World Championship match at Wrestlemania. And once again, this was a predictable card, a predictable show, a predictable match. So the participants were Bianca, Belair, Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Naomi, and Becky Lynch. The first two women to start the match were Becky Lynch and Naomi. And this was good. This was a good match. Naomi and Becky Lynch show some respect to each other. They ain't got no beef, slap hands, and they just begin to wrestle, and they just started doing some moves while we want Tiffy chant broke out. Is Tiffany Stratton over? But Becky and Naomi continue to battle, and Naomi really used the chain link fence as a weapon a lot of the time. And our first person to come into the match was Tiffany Stratton, and the crowd popped, and she was really, really good here, hitting moves from the top of the chamber all around the ring. Becky clearly doesn't like Tiffany Stratton. Remember, Becky's the one who defeated Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Women's Championship. Naomi got in on the action, and it was really about just taking out Tiffany Stratton. So Liv Morgan came into the match, and she was a house of fire, going after Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany just defeated Liv on SmackDown the couple days prior, and Liv worked over Lynch and she covered Becky. Nothing really happened, and we're just fighting, and no eliminations. Lynch gave Tiffany a Beck exploder on the chamber wall. After Liv tossed Becky back in the ring, Tiffany got back up, and she managed to hit a sunset flip powerbomb. Naomi was waiting atop the chamber. She hit a sunset flip powerbomb, but Tiffany Stratton immediately rode there for the surprise elimination, and Naomi was eliminated. That was probably the most shocking elimination out of all the matches, out of the two matches today. Tiffany got a W win. Naomi was gone. The Raquel Rodriguez came in. She immediately caught Tiffany Stratton and just powerbombed her and swung her right into the wall. The crowd really loved Tiffany. And Raquel was going after everybody, and then everybody tried to go on after Raquel. Finally, Bianca Belair was ready to come in. came in and she was just beating everybody's ass. So we have everybody left in the ring. And this was just good. There was a bunch of wild moves. Tiffany Stratton hit a swanton off of the one of the chamber pods and was good. But Tiffany got eliminated and it came down to Becky and Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair. This was our final three. I figured this would probably be the final three. Liv went to attack a Lynch who was down. Bianca tried giving her a KOD, but Liv countered that into a code breaker, which was a really, really good counter. Lynch, Becky hit tried to hit Liv with a manhandle stand, but Liv countered that into a code breaker. Liv was really good. She tried going for the Oblivion on Becky. Becky dumped her over the top rope. Bianca cornered Lynch, flipped her over, and she challenged Becky to attack. Belair hosted Lynch for the KOD, but Becky blocked it. Morgan surprised Belair with a roll-up, another shocking surprise, and then Becky immediately hit Liv with the manhandle slam, and Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania to face Rhea Ripley. The winner was never in doubt, but they told a good story to get there. I don't think Raquel should have been in this match. I really think Indi Hartwell should have been in this match. But Tiffany Stratton was over. The crowd ate everything up. Tiffany was over, but we know how international fans really just cheer for someone they just ultimately like. But Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania to face, well, someone. We'll get to that a little bit later. Next up, we had the tag team title match with the Judgment Day defending against the new Catch Republic team of Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. This was such an NXT black and gold throwback match. Dominic Mysterio was with the Judgment Day. There was no JD McDonough. And R-Truth had mistakenly flown to Austria, not Australia. Yeah. So this was a really, really good tag team match. Again, the winners were never in doubt. Got a nice amount of time, in about 17 minutes. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate looked really, really good here. We know Pete Dunne, but Tyler Bate really got some time to shine as the big, strong boy put in some work. Airplane spins, suplexes. This was good. Dunne and Bate got their big spots. Dom played his role as usual. Got major. He even spoke before the match and was just booed out of the arena. But this was solid. The Judgment Day retained, and we move over to, well, we had a Grayson Waller effect. Started out with Mike Rome introducing Austin Theory, and then Theory shat on Australia. Then he brought in Grayson Waller, the hometown boy, country boy, sorry. And essentially, this was about Cody and Seth. So they came out. Seth gave out the news that he will be medically cleared in just a short time, and Cody challenges The Rock to a match anytime, anywhere. He ran him down, but this was fine. This was just a segment that was spinning in circles. Next up, we had the men's Elimination Chamber match with Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and L.A. Knight. Yeah. Vying to become the number one contender to the World Heavyweight Championship. And the first people to start the match were Drew McIntyre and L.A. Knight. They were jawing at each other last week on SmackDown. So we got some heat here. This was another match I said, like before, winner was never in doubt. But Drew and LA Knight put in some work, and we just decided to beat the holy hell out of each other. Drew McIntyre just looked good here. Kevin Owens was the first to come in at the 440 mark, and he was just throwing rights, going after everybody. He knocked down McIntyre. He hit LA Knight with a choke slam. This was for a Make-A-Wish kid. Owens managed to fight off Drew one more time, showed him to the mat. KO delivered a frog splash and only got a 2 count. Next up, we were just waiting as Owens was really pretty much controlling this match until Drew got the upper hand, and then in came the almighty Bobby Lashley. He went straight for Drew. Remember, Bobby was the one that defeated Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship a couple years ago at WrestleMania. So they're going at it. And Drew caught Bobby's headbutt, hit him with an overhead belly to belly, and whew, just the beating everybody was putting on each other. No eliminations just yet. Remember, Bobby also had his elbow taped up because he got attacked by Karrion Kross on SmackDown. So we're here. Drew and Bobby are going at it. Lashley is trying to fight back. McIntyre is going for chokeslam. LA Knight. So we haven't had an elimination yet. And then KO kicked Lashley in the face, covered him for a 2 count. And then in came Randy Orton. He was just DDTing everybody. But it also hurt him. So Orton was selling the back throughout this match. We still haven't had an elimination. So now Lashley's fighting, McIntyre's fighting, Randy's fighting. Everything is just going well. And then Logan Paul's pod opens up. And KO goes straight for Logan Paul. And he is just beating him down. Paul tried running. Paul tried keeping the door closed. But again, KO whooped his ass. I think, and then Lashley speared Logan Paul through the pod. I thought Logan Paul was dead. The crowd chanted, "Thank you, Bobby." And out of nowhere, Lashley got hit with a Claymore. He's eliminated. McIntyre gets down by LA Knight, gives him a spinning back elbow, hits the blunt for trauma, get hit one on Randy. And then, out of nowhere, AJ Styles comes in and starts destroying LA Knight with the chair, and McIntyre covers LA Knight after AJ gives Knight a Styles clash on the chair. Woo! Imagine flying out to Australia just to take somebody out. That's crazy. KO, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, they are just beating on each other. And then we get to the end of the match. Logan Paul gets hit with a pop-up powerbomb. He is eliminated. He did well here. He still sucks according to the crowd. And Randy came out of nowhere and gave Logan Paul an RKO. Orton covered a 1, 2, 3. So now we're down to McIntyre and Randy Orton. And they were fighting, and things were looking up in Randy's favor. And then Drew got the upper hand, but then Logan Paul returned to the ring and cracked Randy with the brass knuckles. And Logan Paul calls Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre covers Randy Orton. He is going to WrestleMania. Yep. I thought we were going to get Logan Paul versus LA Knight at WrestleMania. Maybe we're getting Logan Paul versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. But Drew McIntyre is going to WrestleMania, and it was never in doubt. I can't stand Logan Paul, but he's really good at this wrestling thing. And for that, I give him credit for. And it looks like we're going to get LA Knight versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Finally, lastly, the WWE Women's World Championship match as Rhea Ripley defends against Nia Jax, and Rhea again was super over. Nia was not over in the face way, but also Nia is Australian. So again, the winner was never in doubt. Nia was built up really well as a challenger, and she dominated, like, I want to say 70% of this match. Rhea tried the early strong offense, even tried hitting a riptide really early on. Did not work. The Nia was just dominating it. There's rarely a time where you see Rhea Ripley get beat this badly. It just doesn't. But Rhea fought back, hit some power moves, time and again. But once they got to the outside, it was a wrap for Rhea. Nia gave her a Samoan drop on the announce desk, stood on top of a chair, and then hit an elbow drop on her through the table. Like, it was, I don't know what to tell you. She flattened Rhea. Then she goes to the ring, hits the Annihilator. She hooked the leg, and Rhea kicks out. and nobody kicks out of an Annihilator. So like, okay, Rhea's definitely winning. Frustrated, right? She tossed Rhea to the Jason corner and looked for another Annihilator, but Rhea got her up, hit a superplex, and then hit her with the Riptide. 1, 2, 3. Rhea Ripley retains and will be facing Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Again, the winner was never in doubt. The pay-per-view was never in doubt. Rhea, again, super over. Nia looked great. Got a strong win over Becky Lynch in her return. Looked good in the Royal Rumble and looked good against Rhea Ripley. So I'm curious to see where they're going to go with the direction of Nia Jax. But Rhea versus Becky Lynch will be going down at WrestleMania. Again, this was a pay-per-view where the winners were never, ever in doubt. But that is what just happened. Elimination Chamber 2024. Don't forget to come back for the High Vs Wrestling podcast every single Saturday. I am Jeremy Pearson. I will see you when I see you. Peace.